of good things potentially get ready to go down for us. And this is my opportunity to share it. So I look forward to the Monday nights, whether somebody shows up or not. I didn't really push it. It was like last minute, but regardless if whoever shows up, this is going to be just the spot to record some of the updates that we're having, the things that we're working on, and possibly take some questions and stuff like that. Updates. I just recently finished the Guap Mall. And this mall, of course, is going to be a multi vendor mall for Guap businesses or businesses that come on board with us. And in order to be in the mall, you don't necessarily have to sell everything for Guap, but requiring that all of the businesses at least have one item. I don't care if it's a virtual item. You at least have one item to get you get you in the mode of using Guap, using crypto, using Guap in your business. It's going to be a great place for people to test out not only just crypto, but also test out the metaverse and having your business in the metaverse and all of that. We plan on having anybody who signs up, we'll set up their store really nice and cute for them, put their products in there. You can link in there to your products. So when someone goes in, they can click directly and maybe buy a product or see some more information about the product by clicking on it and that type of thing. A little bit of interactivity and whatever. Maybe you want to put a video in there talking about what you do. They go in there and play the video. We're gonna have those things. And I'm gonna spin up multiple instances of the mall. I'm also plan on doing other flavors. Actually, I'm going to do one catered towards I guess you could say like the spiritual tarot, cardology community, astrology community. So like a mall with just readers in it. I'm gonna do one that's going to have music in it, like a more focus on digital stuff, and one that's focused on art, that type of thing. But they'll all be connected so people can come in, but they may have different looks depending on what kind of. Did I just get out the chair? I think I did. I think I just fell out the chair.
You did.
Depend. I did. Depending on what kind of. Depending on what kind of industry it is, have those and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. And hold on. We're also working on the Guap Welcome Center. And the Welcome Center it'll be like the one stop place to learn about Guap and all of the things that we have going on. And we'll build a little bit more of an education center. And also, we're looking to plan some events as well. Looking to have some to host some big events. One event that I've been planning for a while is there's a conference that we were planning at the end of the pandemic, and it was a women's financial conference called Women Are the Future of Money. And I'd already had booked some pretty big women in the world of finance that I know and stuff like that. So we're going to be putting that together. And everybody's welcome. But I feel like when it comes to the money things the money conferences that they have out there, the investment conferences, we don't get enough FaceTime, I guess you could say highlight. So I that came born out of wanting to do something focusing on some of the powerful women that are doing things in the space of money and even myself in crypto. That's one of the events that we have planning coming up. We're working on a launch pad. And what the launch pad is going to be is launching projects onto the chain. I've had many people reach out to me and they have ideas and things that they want to do. And we want to make those ideas as easy to implement as possible. We want to take the heavy lifting off. Now that we got so many tools out there, we got ways to make it simple for people to launch their projects. So a launch pad is what we're building right now. And this launch pad will be, of course, a token project launch pad, a DAO launch pad, various other types of business models and stuff that you may want to launch on the blockchain will have a launch pad for it. And what we don't won't have in terms of coding at least we'll have the knowledge, a knowledge base to pull it together to help you out in the community to support you too. Another aspect we want to do is I'm working on a peer regulatory review. So this can help keep people protected regulatory wise, just with information going through things like the Howey test if you're launching a token or if you need to get a legal opinion on your project. People need to know these things. So I want to include an itemized section that has that information of the things that you really should know before you're launching a project, what you might be up against. And in it, technically, your AI legal advisor, so to speak, when you don't have enough money to get that type of thing. So we'll be doing some groundbreaking things when we do that that no other chain is doing. And then what are we doing? We're really catering to the people who want to participate. Like we're giving them the tools and stuff to be able to do it. And a lot of our back end right now will consist of tying into different APIs that cost us money. But we want to make sure that the services that we offer are really low cost if you're doing it, or maybe we can make it donation based or whatever, just to cover being able to call into APIs to pull back data that actually runs these applications because that stuff isn't free. So whatever isn't free for us, then we try to come up with collectively with the money to cover those services. Are you guys hearing me right? Are y'all hearing me good?
We
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay. Take a sip. So we're working on that. We're working on getting this NFT marketplace up. The NFT marketplace should be live by the end of the week. The name of the NFT marketplace is Token Bay. And we like to make a lot of things Guap agnostic, but we want to make it universal so it can compete with other marketplaces out there. I also talked to somebody who wanted to maybe do specifically music marketplaces and music NFTs and stuff like that. And I think it would be great if we segmented and supported people to do other verticals in that thing instead of just trying to put it all in one or whatever. I think that would actually be a great idea. So I support other people who want to do those types of things. Now you want to start barking at me. So that's one thing. And let me see, what else am I forgetting? So we're launching that by the end of the week. Moving pretty fast on that. The website is launched for GuapX. It's guapx.network. It will be linked to the main Guap site. I haven't linked it yet. One of the last pieces I'm doing is actually integrating a button so that when people go there, they can automatically configure their MetaMask for Guap coins. So I'm doing that today, so that should be fixed. So consider it a beta launch. Everything is not there. Also have a wait list for people to sign up for the launch pad. I'm going to start pushing for that. We also want to have a hackathon by the middle of this month because we've been having so many great ideas. And that would be a great time to test the launch pad and make use of that and encourage people to use our test net to play around and play with their ideas and launch their ideas and that type of thing. So those are like some of the updates. I know it's like a lot and we are moving pretty fast. And I'm really proud of that. I'm like proud of the traction that we're getting just building this whole entire ecosystem right now. Do you have anything to add, Corey?
Um, like you were saying, the Welcome Center is going to be an excellent place for learning, right?
Yeah.
Teaching. Today we had a class, I think it was a 2.5 hour class on minting NFTs
Mhm.
on the Guap blockchain.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it's actually, we ended up minting on Polygon testnet today because we didn't get the Guap coin testnet in time, but it's the same process. Meant we followed the same process that we went through when we minted the Shines reward token. So we had a class on it today. We're going to be editing that down and then dropping that on the three speak so that people can start to learn how to launch their own NFT projects. I'm actually building a DApp, an NFT DApp, where people can self mint and be able to transact on their MetaMask and mint their own token on the
Yeah.
Guap blockchain. So
Yeah,
all that
they'll
stuff,
be able to do that actually in the marketplace too, you know, that it has a lot of
yeah,
automatic features. Yeah.
yeah. So for us, it's about just teaching the methodology so that even if we
Yeah.
have a tool that makes it one or two buttons, you still understand what's happening with those one or
Right.
two buttons, what's happening in the background, because that's critical to truly
Yeah.
understanding what we have.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
So
That's really awesome.
with that, I'm really excited about helping to lead this validator program and really defining who is a validator, what are the characteristics we're looking for. Those who want to get involved in that, please reach out. Our validators are life blood, and they should definitely be the programming community on the chain. So I just think it's a good time for the community to study the Binance Smart Chain, the evolution of Binance after they launched their smart chain, study the top utilities on there so that we can window shopping for the different start window shopping for the different capabilities and utilities that we want to see in our community.
Huh?
Once we see what we want, we should come together, brainstorm how we want to bring those on and whether we want to assign a team or a group to bring those capabilities to bear. But there's nothing that's out there that we can't have.
Absolutely. Am I on mute? I wanna make sure I'm not on mute. Oh,
Now, you know,
yeah. Yeah, and that's what I encourage people to do. I encourage people to get out there and see what's out there and yeah, and work on bringing it on over here and implementing it. I think that there are so many different use cases, so many different things that we're going to be able to implement out here. But the focus is implementing things and educating people in the process, teaching them how to even use these because a lot of these things are implemented on other chains and our folks in the community, they don't know how to use these things. You know what I mean? Who's educating the masses? Who's making the onboarding process simple and working towards onboarding people to these tools? That's what, you know, because this is going to become our paradigm. So even things like lending and setting up lending and peer to peer, this and that and
yeah,
other thing, people are going to need to understand and know how to use these. And I think that's where we can set ourselves apart as a community is by focusing heavily on educating people, like each one teach one kind of model, or even groups. Because when if people come together and they say, "Hey, I got this thing coming up, and I got 50 people there, and hey, you can get me there," or if I need to just zoom in, or if we need to metaverse in or whatever, then I'm there. You know what I mean? If you need somebody to teach or y'all want to do a Q&A and all of that, I'm there. And I'm not the only one. We got other people in our community. And that I think, like I said, that is where we're going to set ourselves apart is by being that educational source for this information and making sure that people have somebody to talk to, whether you're on the founder side and you want to do something, or whether you're just on the community side, you're just a community supporter. Did everybody just get booted out? Hello?
some
Like
just happen.
literally. Yeah, everybody's gone.
I
Y'all
don't
are
see
y'all still
anybody.
here?
We
Yeah,
still
I
in
couldn't
here. I
get
don't
in.
see anybody.
Yeah, I can't see anybody neither. I think y'all just got spun out. I think y'all just got booted out.
I see
Oh
everybody.
gosh.
Yeah, I see myself.
You see everybody?
No, I
Yeah.
see.
It usually it's supposed to spin up another instance when it's over 50 people, but yeah, it's been doing that lately, I noticed. So I may have to try to maybe look at maybe some optimization. or whatever. Y'all can still hear me though, right?
Yes, I can
Did
hear.
you? Yeah, you can still hear. I can't see none of y'all, but I can hear. That's how I know it's in another instance. So y'all are in another dimension in the same room.
Right.
So weird.
We're
Um,
in the we're in
but
the
is any
overflow room. Okay, Rose, I got you. Is Rose your
Rose, you have a
Pardon?
question?
I'm
Oh,
interested. Oh no, I'm just interested about hearing about the validation, and I'm just still learning what all you're working on, and I think it's great. Like I said before, I just want to be supportive as much as possible. I'm not a dev, I'm not super technical. I don't know. I'm here.
thank you for being here. That's
Rose?
what we're
I'm gonna
trying.
drop.
We're trying to make this the most technical community as possible. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way that we gonna reach the people. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to scare anybody off with a whole bunch of, to be totally honest, as technical as I am, I've been involved in other projects and been lost myself. You know what I mean? Like, literally coming in and trying to find my way around, and I'm interested in this. I got one question, but I'm inundated with all this information that is like way out of the spectrum of what I'm trying to find out. So I know of me as the type of person that I am, if I ran into that, I can imagine just your average person coming into a crypto community or project and they got questions. And whether you come in and drop in their Discord or their Telegram and everything is going a mile a minute, oh my God, that's so frustrating. And I don't want the experience with Guapcoin to be that way. I want it to be like that place you can come and find out things that you need to find out. You know what I mean? And somebody is going to address you and guide you through, whether it's you got an idea or whether you want to try to figure this out, you want to do this with your wallet or you whatever. I want it to be as natural as home. That's why I'm building all these virtual homes here. These virtual spaces, because actually, see, it does make it easier to pop in and pop out because I can pop in spatial and pop out and go back into my life. It makes it a lot easier. It could be a little bit glitchy right now, but I do imagine that over time it's going to get better. It's going to be easier, and it's going to get more efficient. So we're in the beginning stages. Remember when Facebook was super glitchy? I remember those days when Facebook was really glitchy. So we're in a little bit of the glitch phase, but we're pioneers, and this is that life. Are you still with us, Corey?
Yes, I'm here. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, I've just been distributing rewards. And Rose, I dropped a video that we did about the validator program so that anybody wants to learn more about validators, they can watch that video.
Yeah, and I'm actually getting ready to. I'm gonna put out a couple of articles on Validator. I'm working on some stuff, some content. There'll be some more information on things and have a couple of Q&As and stuff like that drop in for a validated Q&A or whatever. We're going to make sure that we have ourselves available to address those things. People have questions. And I want to have a whole space that is dedicated to the validators, like just a whole meeting place for the validators.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that too because I want to have. We have our proof of authority system, so our validators are supposed to be known to the community. So I want to have a place for the validators and then also a place where you can get to know the validators, know who they are, what they're working on, or whatever. So I'm gonna build a place for the validators too. Build a special place. So pretty soon we'll have a nice little ecosystem kind of places where people can drop by. And I think it's going to make it, like I said, it's going to make it a lot easier for people to find what they're looking for. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking for the plug for my headset. It's going to make it easier for people to find what they're looking for, and then not get too frustrated and overwhelmed that things are all over the place, so to speak. This actually makes it a lot easier for me to keep things organized. What about you, Corey? What do you think? Does this lend to the idea that things can be more organized with this metaverse stuff?
Absolutely. I think, especially as we start to mint access tokens,
Yeah,
where the it'll check your MetaMask for that NFT, and if you have it, you can go into the environment where we can have some different exclusive rooms. We can have some cap table rooms where we're talking about these different functionalities
yeah,
and the representative potential ownership in them, the fractional ownership in them, all these different things. You
yeah.
know,
That's
we're
actually what I want
really
to set
moving
up for the validator.
we're
Set up
truly
some
moving
NFTs.
into a web three. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to set some up for them. I probably work on that this week. Now, because they here, they only accept Polygon and Ethereum. I'll just probably mint them like two sets of NFTs, one for Guap, our chain, and one for here that they can use to get in places. And then maybe mint some type of community NFTs. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. I think we should have, especially like town hall meetings, right? There should be an NFT series for town hall meetings, so that as people come and participate, they leave with something that is showing their engagement. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it could be a general token. We can have some events that have very special tokens, but we should
yeah,
always be minting some kind of token to give away to people that come and engage,
yeah,
because that's how we're going to really find the real inner core of this community, is by finding people that are willing to click in and be here and be a part of this build out.
yeah. Yep, I think so. Yeah, we got a lot to do. I done lost my
So
feet again.
let me say, if you've dropped your address, your wallet address in the chat, then make sure you include the name that you want us to save you as, because I know Spatial is giving everybody these weird names.
Yeah, they
So
get
if
these
that's not really your
anonymous
name,
names. Yeah, they get when they come in anonymous, they get like these anonymous wanderer names and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's gonna change.
it's
Like
not
I
a bad
said,
idea for me to have your not a bad idea for me to have your address, because I do randomly just bless people.
yeah,
Want to build a library of community members whose addresses we know, so that we can start doing peer-to-peer business together. So this is
yeah,
all about us learning one another, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, absolutely. And then eventually these places may get pretty packed and we'll need to just be able to hold it down a little bit. So yeah, being able to have some type
Yeah.
of communication. But again, yeah, we're gonna want to do these things because I definitely anticipate it getting busy in here eventually, especially when we start hosting. That's why I want to host events because the events will get people more used to coming in here and seeing what we have. By the time we have our next event, we'll have a couple of properties for them to tour. Like they could tour the malls, they can tour the center. I want put some cultural spaces in here to attract everything just
Mhm.
to attract them. And a lot of this stuff is going to link directly from our website. So when people land on Guap or GuapX, then they'll also see the metaverse part and they'll see like all of the little properties that we have and they'll just come in. And then we'll also have an event schedule for the events that we have coming up as well. You know, whether it's the town hall or whatever. I do want to plan an airdrop also, by the way. I probably maybe by the middle of the month we literally will have an official airdrop. So that's something that also can kick the community activity up a lot is have the airdrop. So that's something that I'm planning on doing as well. So the airdrop will have a process. You sign up in the Discord, you get into that system, and then we have something going on here or whatever. So there'll be a thing, and then people can collect their coins or whatever. I'd also like to have maybe like a for the education center or something like that. So maybe have a pool there. We have maybe if we can do something with some young people to come into the education center and the metaverse and also have some coins to give them and maybe do a demonstration or something like that for them. I would like to set up some things like that as well. So there's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of planning and all of that. But again, even if some of this stuff is like kind of some impromptu things that we can put together and put it out there and put it on our board, our event boards. These are some pending events that we like to do and get some people to help support us in that process. Does anybody out there have any questions? We got a couple of visitors here.
I have a question.
Sure.
For the links, there's been the Discord link, and then there was another link related to being a validator. Are those going to be available in the Telegram? And I'm asking because I'm on
Yes.
a cell phone. I've got kids' activities and things, so I'm out and about. Yeah, if it's in the
So
Telegram, that would be.
Telegram is more convenient for you?
It is when I'm on the go. To access Discord from a phone's a little bit inconvenient, but I
Mm,
can access it. But to get the link, I'm already in your Telegram group. So if it's there, then I can just click the link a little bit
okay.
later.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
for telling me that because I don't get a lot of feedback on the Telegram. So I don't know what's going, people are using it or whatever. So I definitely will make sure that this information is put in the Telegram too. That's good to know. And also, we also have guaptalk.org as well for people to remember. That's our forum because we have a lot of the static information there. So that way, if you miss something, we try to keep that updated. When you can search, you can find it because it can be hard to find things in those other channels. But thank you for telling me that because I'll make sure that that stays updated in the Telegram as well. And then those links will be there. That's what we're really trying to do is to make sure content is up and out and shared across as many places as possible. And pretty soon we're going to have more articles, press releases. I'm working on a press release now. I'm going to be releasing a press release on Black PR probably in another week. And it's focused on what we're doing on bringing people onto Web3 and then also our launch pad, mentioning the launch pad and the coming airdrop. Is probably to be the 3 points that I mentioned in the press release. If there's anything else that I'm sorry, I'm in a meeting. My son just came in. If there's anything else that you can think of, please hit me up or whatever. And if you got any suggestions, I do want to put a suggestion box. I'm gonna put which are probably just linked to a form. So we'll have a suggestion box. You click it, it'll link to a form where you can drop some suggestions in or things or whatever. And then we go through those suggestions. So as I said, it'll be a lot of things to encourage community feedback and interaction. Once I get out of this initial heavy development phase that I'm actually in right now. So we got a couple of other people. Anybody have any questions? I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. I know I said a lot. One of the things that we do want to focus on as well is cross platform trading. That's actually being able to swap out GuapX with whether you're trying to swap it out for like USDC or something like that. I'm working on building and getting into some cross platform ecosystems. There's actually one that I want and they seem to not be sometimes these other platforms they like will ignore smaller projects. And so there's one project called Axelar, which they actually have a partnership with MasterCard. Now I have some MasterCard connections because I met with MasterCard a couple of times and I actually met with Visa. I plan on reaching out to some people and having them make the introduction for me. So that's something I have on my list to reach out to some of my people and MasterCard, Visa. These are people that I've met with that want to support us and say, hey, can you make this connection with this platform, that platform? So they'll listen to them and maybe they won't listen to me. But Axelar, what they do is they create the rails to bridge trading across not even just debt like dex trading and stuff like that across different chains. So that way, if somebody is wanting to swap, then they don't have to go far in order to do that. If somebody wants to get guap, they won't have to go, they can come off another chain and get guap and stuff like that. So there's platforms to do that, and it's a little bit of development integration, but not a lot. And I'd like some official partnerships. So like I said, I'm going to reach out to some people that I know and say, hey, can you make this connection with this platform? Because I see they're working with you and they're working with you. And we would like to get in on what they have going on. I think that's the way to do it. So that's my strategy to get us out there to make the actual coin more accessible, the token more accessible, that the coin from this platform, from GuapX, and even Guap, and not Guap, because this is trading on a different kind of platform. So that's what I'm reaching out to do as well. Like I said, I've already reached out to some people and haven't gotten a response. So I said, it's time to go to the big wigs. I'm going to go to the big wigs and see if you can connect us so that we can get in these ecosystems too. Wow, I just totally jumped out of my seat. Oh, I know why.
I
Oh, how cool.
know some,
Huh?
I know some big wigs on the Hive ecosystem. So
Yeah.
I think that would be a great one to bridge with
Yeah.
and to swap with. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I said, that's one for the radar. And I was like, at least if we get those things going, then, it's something that we have going and
Yeah.
in the works. We're going to get those fires going so that we can make it more accessible for people to get in and get off if they need to, at least for now. Because that's a very important part of it. A lot of times, those things take a lot of what's called liquidity. If you don't know what that is, that's money. We don't have takes a certain amount of liquidity in order to be able to do that. And a lot of these projects, they have the liquidity because they raised private capital. And that private capital that they raise, they use it towards liquidity. So they don't have a problem getting on these exchanges or trading or having liquidity and volume because they raise millions of dollars. And we have not raised a million. So I want you to keep that in mind. So when people bring that up, you have a talking point too. If you're talking and you want to talk about guap and somebody says that, oh, they have low trading volume, tell them we don't buy the market. You know what I mean? No, we haven't had that capital to buy trading volume.
Yeah.
There are actually a lot of projects now that are getting in trouble for that very thing. So you just recently had, what's his name, Tron, Justin's son or whatever, he just recently got into some trouble about trading volume and stuff like that. We don't have that problem. So that's one less problem we have with the SEC is manufacturing fake volume. I think that by the time people are actually getting guap, it's going to be real people. Literally, it's going to be real people. So it won't be a bunch of bots in the background or people trading millions of dollars back and forth and setting whatever their price is. So at least clarify that. I want people to know that. If I have to, in our welcome center, make sure that I have a section set up and have a big old poster in there that says other projects by trading volume. Is that petty, Corey? I
Yeah.
don't know. But I
Nah,
think it's
that sounds
educational.
good.
Huh?
It is educational. It's data.
Yeah, it's
You have to
educational.
educate
People
them.
need to know that. So we have a Q&A, FAQ. Why is your trading volume low? Because we actually have to build real people to trade this and actually get it. So we need to get real people in the door because when you don't have capital, you need people. And it's actually good that we need people because guess what? Crypto, blockchain is people centered. It's supposed to be people centered and it hasn't been. So we actually get to corner the market on having something that is people centered versus having something that's centered around speculation and quote unquote money per se. We'll have something that is centered around the people. So a lot of pluses running in our favor. It may take a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of faith to stick it out to see what the results are going to be. But at the end of the day, it protects us because a lot of these projects are under fire because of the way that they done things. And we don't have to worry about that because, like I said, like we made lemonade out of lemons, and that's what we're doing. My controller just went out. So does anybody else have any questions? I think normally I would be a little bit more liver. I think today I was a little burnt out. Been working since the wee hours of the morning, and I'm about to go back to some more working into the wee hours of the morning. But I anticipate us getting a lot done. I really want to focus. Like I said, my priority is not only building out these spaces, but my next priority is getting this launch pad ready so that people can come on board and build some things.
Yep.
Um,
Build and build.
that yeah, yeah, that's a huge priority. We need builders and we need the people who are solving everyday problems to be able to come on and take advantage of smart contracts and et cetera to solve those everyday problems and how we can support them. At any rate, I'm not going to hold y'all much longer. That was just my updates. We'll be back next week. Be a little bit more, and we get to see what type of progress we make from week to week. I like to be able to say that the launch pad is in beta with this or with that. I want to be able to say we have chain link integrated because I'm working on the chain link integration too. I like to be able to say that we got our welcome center up. Like to be able to have that up and running by next week and start having all types of basic information in the welcome center and have that going. So that's my goal. I like to be able to have those things up and running by next week. And then also a faucet for the development tokens and stuff so people can get tokens to do things with the chain and stuff like that to be able to have that up. And that I actually should because I already talked to the devs about setting up a faucet so that people can have some tokens if they're doing some development or deploying onto the test net. So at any rate, you got anything else, Corey?
No, just keep up the strength, and we're here to support.